In this video, we're going to share with you 5 tips we use to make huge profits on Fiverr. Hey, if you're a seller on Fiverr, I'm sure you're going to be interested on what you can do to make more money. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Fiverr, a quick description is just think of it as a marketplace where people buy and sell products and services for only $5. So, any product or service that's offered there you can get for $5, all right? So there's buyers and there's sellers, and all the transactions require a basic transaction takes $5. All right. So if you're a seller on Fiverr, one thing you want to do is you want to be able to make your gig stand out and make it more popular. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. Plus, we're going to show you how to make more than $5 on a single gig. Some of you may not think that's possible, but it is. So does that sound like something you might be interested in? If it is, you're going to want to watch this video because we'll show you how to make your gig more popular. We're going to show you how to shorten the delivery time, and so that's going to save you time. And anytime you can do that, that means you can sell more gigs because you have more time available. And selling more gigs means more profit. So watch this video and you'll learn how you can maximize your profits on Fiverr. All right, so tip number 1, it's to pick a good username. The exact algorithm that Fiverr uses to return results from a search string are not entirely known by the public. But one thing that we've seen is that usernames that have keywords in them tend to rank higher in the search results, okay? So if your username is John Doe, that's okay. But if your name is John Doe Golf Tips or something like that, then you have a better chance. It seems like you have a better chance of showing up higher in the search results if someone's searching for golf tips. Now, there's no real evidence that says this is true or not. This is based on information reported by other sellers that we've gathered from blogs and forum posts and other areas. But it seems to hold true that usernames that have keywords associated tend to show up higher in the search results, and that's really what you want, right? So if you're ranked higher in the search results, that means more people will see it. And the more people that see it means you have a better chance for making more sales, okay? So think about, if you haven't already created a Fiverr account, picking a username that is related to whatever your niche or your topic is. If it has keywords in it, that's even better, because that username could help you boost your search rank. Hey, tip number 2, make your gig manageable. Too often we see gigs that are either too complicated or they require too much from the seller, and if it's too much time or too much effort or too much material that gets put into a gig, that just eats away at the seller's profit. So a good rule of thumb, if you're creating a gig and selling it, make sure you can finish it completely in 10 minutes or less, and ideally I like to see 5 minutes or less. So this is start to finish, you've got to be completely done. So if you're going to create something and package it up and send it out, it's got to be done in 10 minutes or less. So that's one of the main criterias for creating your gig that you're going to sell. And that makes it more manageable, okay? But keep in mind, you want to provide a good product or a service. I'm not saying cheat anybody, but give them something good for their money, right? Because you're selling something in good faith and they're paying you, and the buyers are paying you good money in good faith, and so you want to deliver something that's useful to them. But again, keep it short and sweet. So avoid a gig that takes too long, and then also avoid gigs that require you to buy materials to make it, or maybe it's really heavy and it's expensive to ship. Okay, if you haven't seen some of my other videos that talk about picking a gig for Fiverr, go back, watch some of my other videos. I'll give you a whole list of tips in there about how to pick a good gig. All right, so when you think about your gig, think of those things, but also think about batching. Now, if you're not familiar with batching, it's where perhaps you have to do something in your gig where you're going to record yourself singing a song in front of a building or by palm trees at the beach. Well, it's going to be too expensive for you to go out and do that every single time a gig comes in. So if you can, group 5 or 6 of those together, go out to wherever the location is, record all 5 or 6, and then come back and ship those out. Don't do them one at a time, okay? So that's what we mean by batching. And then also look at your time and material cost. Try to keep them down low. Bottom line here is find a gig or create a gig that's affordable. And what I mean by affordable, it's affordable to you the seller, right? Your time, your resources, those are all expenses that you have. And so you want to make sure it's affordable to you, whatever this gig is that you choose. Tip number 3, offer gig upgrades. So, new sellers don't know this, but as time goes on, you become more established as a seller. Fiverr will offer you the opportunity to sell upgrades along with your basic gig. And what does that mean? Well, upgrades are things that are related to your gig, but they offer more features and benefits. And what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes it's just something simple like faster delivery. So instead of taking 3 days to deliver, maybe you do it in one. So it's got a quick turnaround time. Or it's an enhanced product. Maybe instead of black and white, you're doing color. Or instead of low resolution, you're doing higher resolution. Or perhaps instead of it's a 30-second, song that you're going to write for them, little jingle, maybe you're going to do 1 minute. Or instead of a 300-word blog that you're going to write for them, maybe you write a 700-word blog. Upgrades that you can sell along with your basic gig. And so what that's going to do is that's going to give you a way to increase the money that you get from a single gig. So you already know that buyer's in the market to buy your gig because he's interested in getting a blog post, but now you bundle it up, offer some upgrades, and you're doing an upsell, if you will. Okay, so think about upgrades. So what else can you offer with your gig? And if you're having trouble thinking of things you can add on to your gig to get more money, one easy way to do it is just think what can make your gig better, easier, or faster. Okay, so like I said, it's an enhanced product, color versus black and white. It's something that's easier to do. Maybe you help them do something, or you just deliver it faster for them. So these are great ways to find upgrades for your particular gig. And what that does, that means instead of getting $5 for your single gig, now you've just sold some upgrades along with it, and so now you've just increased the money you're making from that one gig. Hey, tip number 4, do you know you can make some related gigs? And instead of just your original gig, think about offering gigs, some different gigs that are often related, because buyers may want some other products or services that are related. Okay, so they're already in the mindset of buying a gig. They may have some other things that they're looking for that are related, so why not offer your services as well as part of that? Okay, and it's because when you have more than one gig, these related gigs are oftentimes cross advertised by Fiverr. So if you've got something that you're offering, say creating a blog website for someone, maybe now your related gig can be offering some blog posts so they can get some content, and Fiverr will say, hey, they'll put the two together and you can offer that as a related gig. So just think about what other products or services you can offer that you can bundle up as a separate gig. And if you're having trouble, I like to use the assembly line analogy, right? So as a car goes through an assembly line, one person puts on the wheels, another puts on the steering wheel, so on and so forth. So maybe your other gigs can be something similar. Maybe one is, I don't know, let's take that website blog example, right? So you install a WordPress blog for somebody on their server, and then the next step is you get the domain name and you get it registered, and you attach that to it. And then another one is you offer blog content to get them started. So there's some different gigs that you can think about. So the bottom line here is when you come up with your gig, think about other gigs that you can offer as well that are related. And tip number 5, offer bonuses with your gig. So just keep in mind that Fiverr is a competitive marketplace. Just because you're offering something doesn't mean somebody else isn't offering the same exact thing. And so what do? You want to do? You want to be able to stand out. And one great way to do that is to give away a free bonus with your gig. And what does that do? It's going to make it a little more appealing. But when you do that bonus, you want to make it something simple, like a free report. Let's say it's some additional information content that you can offer to your buyer as a bonus to the gig. And what I like about free reports or anything like that is it's easy to duplicate, right? It's just an electronic file, say in a PDF format. And it's also easy to ship. It's just an attachment on an email. So that makes it really manageable. Remember that. Keep it manageable. And by doing this, giving the buyer a free bonus with your gig, what you're doing is you're enticing them to choose your gig over someone else's. Okay, so if you've got two exact same gigs out there, yours and somebody else's, it may come down to the buyer choosing yours because you have the free report. Okay, so think about that. Make a free bonus, make it available, make sure it's easy to create, or duplicate. It's easy to ship, but it also has to have value that the buyers will want. It's some golden nugget of information like, that you could put easily in a report. So giving away that free bonus with your gig can make a huge difference whether or not you get the sale or somebody else gets the sale. All right, your next steps. Join Fiverr and sell gigs. It's completely free and only takes a few minutes if you haven't already done so. If you need more information, be sure to check out my other videos. I show how to get started, how to pick a gig, things of that nature. If you are selling gigs already, good for you. Then it's time for you to perform the steps that we've shown you in this video. Okay, so step number one, make sure you pick a good username. And if you have a username already, that's okay. You just keep using that. Like I said, it's not really clear how the Fiverr search engine returned results. But if you don't have a username yet, or you want to create a new Fiverr account, you may want to consider picking a username that has keywords associated with whatever your niche market is for the gig you're going to be offering. Step number two, plan your basic gig and then also think about what great upgrades you can offer along with it. Okay, so maybe it's quicker delivery time, or it's color versus black and white, or higher resolution, or longer duration, or more words, or whatever it happens to be. These are all good upgrades to offer. And then, hey, don't forget to include a free bonus as part of your gig offering. And then also consider offering other related gigs, okay? Because they'll come up with other gigs that could work well with this gig that you're working on. And then be sure you promote your gigs, okay? So don't just put them out there and then walk away from it. Make sure you talk about them on blogs or forums. You can also put classified ads and Craigslist, broadcast it out to your social media followers, Facebook, Twitter, things of that nature. Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to click on the subscribe button below to see more videos with tips, tricks, hints, and secrets for making money online. Make a plan, take action on that plan, and start living your dream.